What is going on, everybody? We're here back for a brand new episode of Higurashi When They Cry that marks the 1 year anniversary when I started this Let's Play, which is absolutely insane to me. God, this game is very long. It is very long. It's taken me a year in order to finish it. I'm still on chapter 6. I haven't even there's still two more chapters, and we got the bonus chapters, and whatever. It's a very long game. Anyway, what happened last time was we Rena pretty much is going through the motions of chapter 1. She's getting talked to by Oshi and all that stuff. But the major difference this time is that Rena talked to Takano before she was murdered. There we found out what exactly happened that caused her mental breakdown that made her meet Oshiro-sama, that told her to go back to Himizawa, which is the whole maggots in her veins situation, which is just puts a smile on my face. Just great imagery in my head. Ryukishi07, just great images. But Takano gave Rena her secret notebooks, and in those notebooks, it describes that the possibility of there's a parasite in Himizawa that's been infecting everyone for hundreds of years, which is absolutely insane. The thing with the parasites, it's either one of two things. One, this is the biggest red herring I've ever seen, even attempted to pull off in the story. Or two, it's 100% the truth. It really could go either way. Like, it could be 100% a red herring, or it could be 100% the truth. To be honest, I would be fine with either, you know? I could see it being a red herring of like, of course, parasites controlling Himizawa, but at the same time, if it's the truth, there's a lot of things when you go back and think on it, go through their perspective, like, what if they have parasites in them? And it starts to be like, yeah, I can kind of see it. So somebody told me to go back to chapter one to look at two particular scenes. One, this train scene at the very beginning of chapter 1. And what I noticed through there is that even though Kechi states, even though he's been in Himizawa for over a month, when he's going back to the city for the funeral of a relative, he feels overwhelmed by it. Now, this could be a sign that he's already been infected by the parasite and that the parasite wants to go back home, or is homesick, wants to go back to its environment because of its homing ability that was explained last episode. Which, could be just a sign of like Kechi's already been infected since he ever stepped foot in Himizawa, or over the course of the month he got infected. I'm still a little bit shaken on that. That could be like I'm looking into things a little bit too deep. But the second thing I'm very confident on. The second scene that the person told me to look at is on the final day when Rena is chasing after Kechi with the hatchet, right? While Kechi is running away from Rena, she states, I want to talk to Kechi, and Kechi wants to talk to me, doesn't he? That's very interesting. Why would Rena want to talk to Kechi about something? And I think, here's what I think. I think in chapter 1, Rena did get those secret journals from Takano. I think she did. I think 100% she did get those secret notebooks from Takano. And she just had been hiding it, pretty much keeping it to herself because she didn't wasn't that really close with Kechi in chapter 1, but here in chapter 6, since the club members are more closely bonded together, I mean, hell, they buried a body together. I mean, if that isn't a sign of friendship, I don't know what is. But I think 100% Rana did have Takano's secret notebooks back in chapter 1, and on the final day, Rana did want to help out Kechi, but because of her, she didn't get the help. Like, it's either one of two things. One, the director's organization got to her, or two, it's her, like, mental illness that's, like, messing with her head on the final day. I'm leaning towards more of the latter, of, like, the mental illness, like, overcame her on the final day. Even though she had good intentions, she was, going about it in the wrong way. And with Kechi already been paranoid throughout the entirety of chapter 1, not a great thing. But yes, I am very excited to get into this next chapter. I want to know where this is going, because we're getting to some, like, deep crap. I think we're getting to, like, a truth, like a big truth in the next couple of chapters. 100%. All right. Lunch takeout list 2. Furthermore, it's important that we closely monitor her father. Since he has also suffered mental shock from the divorce and has been trying too hard to take care of the patient, there's a strong possibility that he may develop an induced delusion disorder. As the first step of mental care, one should listen to the patient's story carefully without denying it. That's the most basic of basics. However, when the patient and the listener are related, it's easy for the listener to become deeply influenced by the patient's delusions. Additionally, delusional partosis is widely known to make people highly impressionable, and the influence sometimes can spread throughout a whole community. Yeah, hysteria. Therefore, even if several people claim to acquire a parasitic infection, it doesn't necessarily prove the existence of a parasite. It's very true. Some of the phone calls to the healthcare centers for the extermination of pests are nothing but a mass delusion. Since the subject matter of the delusion in this case is extremely rabid, the patients might harm or even kill each other in abnormal ways, believing this to be the treatment for the disease. They might also give up hope and commit suicide together in the worst case. This influential delusion disorder, otherwise known as shared psychotic disorder, shows a particularly strong possibility of influencing close companions. Anyone who is going to contact the patients must be made to understand that the patients are under medical treatment and must be warned not to be influenced by the patient's delusions. Individuals who are likely to be easily influenced are the patients' family members and people who are deeply care about the patient, such as boyfriends or girlfriends. Dang, we didn't even get the lunch takeout. Yeah, that's the thing about these damn parasites, is that a lot of it's pointing to it, but once again, Ryukyushi 07 is fantastic in making 50-50 questions. I think he's absolutely fantastic in that writing department of, like, giving you two sides of an argument, but you're not certain which one is right. I think he's fantastic in doing that, of, like, making the viewer go 50-50, really. It's like, it's either this or it's that. There's no in between. It's either A or B. It's not C, it's A or B. I think he's fantastic in writing that. Anyway, let's actually get into the damn fucking chapter. Void.
すまなかった、レナ。俺はどこかでレナの話を疑ってたよ。本当にすまない。
いいよ、ケイチ君。そのおかげで待ち伏せをやり過ごせたんだしね。
あいつらは何者なんだ。そのお社様信仰を復活させようとする信者の集団の手先。
彼らにはそういう自覚はないと思う。 彼らを操っている黒幕はそうなんだと思うけどね。多分ダム戦争の当時から陰で様々な工作をしてきた連中なんだと思う。
ダム戦争の最中に園崎家が裏でいろいろと暗躍したって話は俺も少しは聞いたことがあるな。
有名な話だよね。これは大石さんに聞いたんだけど、ダム戦争の最中に誘拐事件があったんだって。
Yep.
これも秘密の事件なんだけど、なんでも建設大臣の孫を誘拐してダム建設中止の約束を裏取引したんだって。
大臣の孫を誘拐？おいおい、そんなの聞いたことないぞ。
大臣が犯人との取引に応じる姿勢を見せたため、事件を公にしないことになったんだって。大石さんは当時その事件に関わったから知ってるんだって。
うん。それで？
大石さんが言うには、孫の誘拐や大臣の脅迫などの手口は恐ろしいほどに高度だったんだって。その事件は園崎家が命令を下したことだけは分かっているけど、結局未解決なんだって。当時園崎家の当主である園崎お亮は武装闘争の方針を打ち出していて、配下である暴力団組織の中に特攻隊を組織したそうなの。ダム計画の撤回がどうしても望めないときは建設省に突入して武力制圧しようなんて、そんな物騒な計画を本気で練っていたらしいの。
Also, I did think of something after last episode of, like, another reason why the three families could have, wanted to stop the dam project was, A, of course, because it would have flooded Himizawa, and also, B, if they constructed a dam site, they would have to inspect the water, right? And if they inspected the water, like, very closely and process it, they could have found parasites in it. That's a little bit like, maybe. Just maybe lean a little bit to the parasite idea, but, maybe it's just they didn't want the village to be blooded, but, it's still an interesting thing to think about. Everybody knows that the Sonozaki family had tried to stop the dam project, even if it meant breaking the wall. So I wasn't so surprised to hear that she had a dangerous plan like that. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Mion who came up with the idea. The plan sounded just like her.
結局その計画は計画のままで終わったんだけど、それを実行するための特攻隊の訓練というのは行われていて、相当高度なものだったらしいよ。
Oshi had uncovered the information right after the dam conflict ended. At the time, Oryu even said that if the village was going to be submerged, all members of the Onikafuchi Guardians would choose to stay in their houses and drown. So because Oryu was behind those things, I couldn't just laugh off the idea of an armed assault on the Ministry of Construction. According to the information Oshi seized, she planned a suicide mission as a last resort when the dam conflict started to heat up, in case their resistance wasn't successful. She had actually obtained weapons and put people through training for the sake of that plan. Damn. The Special Attack Corps were flown to America, having received a huge amount of money from Oryu for the operation. In the southern desert of the United States, some retired military soldiers gave them highly professional training. While the plan was never carried out, the Special Attack Corps became a death squad under the direct control of Oryu after they came back from America. They were involved in many unsolved terrorist incidents, and they succeeded in kidnapping the grandson of the minister as well. Fuck.
嘘みたいな話だな。
みーちゃんがよくヘリの操縦から無線機まで何でもできるみたいなことを言うでしょ。あれは本当。みーちゃんも当時その訓練に参加してるらしいよ。
じゃああいつ本当に？
まあ、みーちゃんの話はともかく、このひなみ沢には大臣の孫すらも誘拐できるだけの暗殺部隊が存在するってことだけは疑っちゃダメ。
I didn't take a close look at the four men in the white van today, but thinking about it, they did look professional in a way. They were pretending to just be taking a break, but I could tell they were tense all the time.
それで あいつらはレナの命を狙っているのか？
多分狙ってはいないと思う。殺すだけだったら私もう殺されてるよ。
Yeah.
じゃあ狙いはまさかあれか？高野さんのスクラップ帳。
圭一君が見た通り、連中は相当警戒心が強いみたいで、隙を見つけない限りは強引な手段に訴えてこないみたいなの。だって強引な連中なら私の自宅の寝込みを襲えばいいんだから。
それをしないってことは結構慎重だってことになるな。
多分私がスクラップ帳を持っているという確信がないからだと思うの。彼らはミオさんを殺し、持っていたスクラップ帳を全て処分しようとした。ところが一番重要な数冊が抜けていた。それで自分が狙われているのを察して誰かに預けたんじゃないかと考えてるんだと思うの。その有力候補が私なんだと思う。でも確証がないから強引な手段に訴えられないんだろうね。
レナ、お前かなりヤバい橋を渡ってるんじゃないのか？
そうだね。ちょっと怖いかな。でもそう簡単には消されないよ。私は大石さんと連携している。有事の際に備えて常に連絡を取り合っているしね。
Well, I mean, we see what that happened in chapter 1. I don't think it worked out.
そうだ、大石さんはどう言ってるんだよ？
大石さんも園崎家が何らかの暗躍をしていないか監視してくれてるよ。
高野さんのスクラップ帳の話はしたのか？
うん、話してない。
警察には話した方がいいだろう。それに警察ならきっと力になってくれるぞ。
圭一君、私は君にだって信じてもらえるか自信がなくて話せないでいるんだよ。大石さんに話したって絶対に信じてもらえるわけがない。
なあレナ、もう煙に巻くのはなしだ。話してくれ。一体何なんだ？何がスクラップ帳に書いてあるんだ？高野さんが消されるほどの何が書いてあるんだ？
簡単に言うと、このスクラップ帳に書いてあることが事実なら彼らの神が貶められることになるの。
神を貶める？
そう、お社様の神聖性が失われてしまう。
Your god is a fucking parasite. Is literally pretty much what it is. Hey, yeah, your guardian angel? Yeah, fucking parasite that's in your blood right now.
だからお社様信仰を復活させようとする彼らは絶対に伏せたいと思っているの。
すまんレナ、もう少し分かりやすく言ってくれ。つまりどういうことなんだ？
つまりお社様は神様じゃないってことなの。
神様じゃない？
I had no idea what she read that made her so certain, but whatever it was, it'd be sacrilegious for people who believe so strongly in Osho-sama.
お社様の教えっていくつもあるけど、その原点はたったの一つしかない。それは中から出るな、外から入るなというもの。
Also, if it does turn out the parasites are like the actual truth of Himizawa, it would kind of make sense because a lot of ancient gods in the ancient world were pretty much based around like natural phenomenon, like, you know, lightning, you know, Zeus in the sky like throwing down thunder, droughts, you know, the rain god is punishing us for not sacrificing a sheep or whatever. You know, that's those types of things, because a lot of gods in old mythologies were, you know, just based around like natural phenomenon that the ancient people couldn't understand, so they assigned it to a god.
この大原則を守るためにその他の教義を発展させたと言ってもいいくらい。隣人を愛せとか家内安全とか縁結びの神様なんてのは本当に後から取ってつけたものでしかないの。
In other words, Osho-sama existed solely to stop the villagers from going outside the village. Osho-sama doesn't bless the villagers or protect them from disasters. the people believe that Osho-sama does all that for them. But the truth is that the people abuse his name for that purpose, generation after generation, and nothing more than that. Why did Osho-sama descend in the first place? Because demons came out of Onikafuchi's swamp and attacked people.
実はこの時点で解釈が違ってたの。鬼が湧き出して襲ったんじゃない。湧き出したものにやられると人々を襲う鬼になるの。
湧き出したもの？どういう意味だよ、レナ。
Whatever came out of the swamp possessed people, crawled into their blood, controlled them, and turned them into demons. People had no resistance against whatever it was that came out of the swamp. They became demons, attacked the other villagers, and turned them into demons as well. That's right. It was a weird infectious disease that broke out from the swamp. It made the infected people go out of control. The villagers saw this disaster and explained it like so. Evil demons came out from the bottom of the swamp, possessed people, and turned them into demons as well. That is the truth of the story of the demons that came out of Onikafuchi's swamp.
確かに、それだと伝説をうまく説明できるな。じゃあ、お社様ってのは、ひょっとして異国から来た医者？
そうだね。正確には正しくないけど、そう、医者と呼べる存在。
Wouldn't make sense.
それが降臨して伝染病を治療したの。でもそれは治療ではなく対処療法でしかなかった。
All his treatment could do was reduce the symptoms of the infection. Villagers could have their symptoms suppressed, but there was no way to kill the parasites that infested them. After a while, the village was divided into two groups. One group was made up of the people who were already infected, and the other consisted of the people who weren't. Without a cure for the disease, the infected looked down on the people who could only suppress their violent symptoms. They even talked about drowning them in the swamp, but they knew killing the infected people wouldn't solve the problem. The parasites came out of their water sources, including Onikafuchi's swamp. They couldn't fill them all in, for if they did that, they would lose their access to drinking water. They could have chosen to leave the village, but that was hard for them, for that was the location of their ancestors' graves. Under the power of Osho-sama, infected people could live without showing symptoms. So both those who were infected and those who weren't decided to live together equally and to coexist with the parasite. Osho-sama was impressed by the villagers' decision. He decided to stay there and continue to treat them.
それが、お社様がこの地にとどまり、人と鬼の生活を見守ったの真相か。
うん。そしてお社様は感染者である村人たちに症状を出さないために掟を作った。その最大にして唯一のものが村から出てはいけない、外から人を入れてはいけないだったの。
外から人を入れてはいけないってのはわかるぜ。感染者を増やさないためだろう。でも出てはいけないってのはどういう意味なんだ？
寄生虫たちは気候や風土の関係でこのひなみ沢の地でしか生けられないらしいの。だから宿主である感染者がこの地を離れようとすると強い症状を出してそれを妨害するの。その妨害こそがいわゆるお社様のたたりの正体。
The strongest symptoms of the infectious disease were violence and delirium. Damn, I was right on the mark of that. The infected people acted just like demons, and the impact of seeing them in the throes of the disease was strong enough to make others describe them as such. They couldn't even let people leave who had just come to the village. If they had left after being infected, they may go crazy in a faraway land, turn into a vicious demon, and cause a disaster. Infected people were never allowed to leave. When an infected person left the village, they brought him back by any means necessary. That was what it really meant to be demoned away.
ちょっと待てよ、レナ。だとしたら、俺やレナも村人はみんなその病気に感染してることになるよな。
Which does make Chapter 3's ending the worst possible ending by Himizawa being destroyed, a bunch of people from the village leaving it, causing, like, who knows how much of Japan to be infected by this parasite. thus coining the term Himizawa syndrome, which in actuality is the parasite that's reacting to an unfamiliar environment that it cannot live in.
でも俺たちはひなみ沢を離れたって別に何の問題もないぞ。実際村人にも結婚したりして遠方に住んでる人も少なくないらしいじゃないか。ひなみ沢をちょっと離れたからって錯乱して鬼と化したなんて聞いたことないぞ。
そう。それはまさにお社様の目論見通りにことが進んだからなんだよ。意味がわかるかな。この村を長い間封印してきたのは寄生虫の害を弱めるためなの。
Hosts are very important for parasites. If something happens to the host, the parasites that live in the host have to share the same fate. In other words, if the host went crazy and attacked people, the host would be captured and killed, which means that the parasites would die with the host too.
そうか。自然淘汰か。
さすが圭一君。そう。この地で長く生活を重ね、厳しい戒律で生活を続けた結果、寄生虫に対し過敏な人間は錯乱して結局殺された。また感染者を錯乱させてしまうような強すぎる寄生虫はこれもまた錯乱した宿主と共に殺された。その結果寄生虫と人間は互いに相性がいい種だけが残っていった、これこそがお社様の伝説が伝える鬼と人の血は混じり合ったことの真相。
じゃあつまりその寄生虫はほとんど無害なわけなのか。
Almost.
ミオさんのスクラップ帳によると、そういった無害な寄生虫に感染しているケースというのはかなり多いんだって。食文化にもよるけど、例えば生肉を食べる国では国民の8割くらいが感染している例もあるんだって。でも矯正できてて人体に全く無害だから誰も治療しない、気づかない。だから撲滅もされない。
なるほどな。
It seems like the parasites have pretty much gone dormant within Himizawa residents, but from what we've seen and over the chapters, here's my theory. The parasites reawakened to their violent tendencies due to heavy emotional events in their life. Let's take, for example, Shion, right? Very violent person. When Satoshi was kidnapped, even before Satoshi even was gone, even Shion knowing that Satoshi was in pain, she still acted violent against Sadako, right? Maybe because she was sensitive to the parasites, or, the parasites were, sensitive to her emotions, right? Yeah, after Satoshi disappeared, it wasn't until, a year later that when she was reminded of Satoshi because of Mion telling her about the doll that Keiji didn't give her, that's what set off, it reminded Shion of Satoshi, which in turn made possibly the parasite more susceptible to more violent tendencies. I mean, that's the fear I'm going with, but I feel like the parasites reawakened due to high emotional trauma or events.
太古の綿流しはね、実は腹綿流しと書く物騒なものでね。
Wait, actually, here's a better example than Shion. Rana. Due to the divorce of her parents, she started blaming herself. Then she started, cutting herself, which might have reawakened the parasite within her due to that emotional stress, which started, pouring maggots out of her, blood or whatever. And I guess in turn, the hallucination of Osho-sama was just from her own mind. Something like that. I don't know.
錯乱した犠牲者の臓腑を食らうものだったの。でもこれも必要なことだった。
感染して犠牲になった人を食らう。まさかワクチンとか？
ケイチ君はやっぱり頭がいいね。ミオさんもそう読み解いてる。伝説では犠牲者を生きたまま解体して食らったなんて物騒なことになっているけど、実際はそんな野蛮なものじゃなくて、もっともっと医学的に取り扱われていたらしいの。強すぎる寄生虫のせいで死んだ犠牲者からワクチンを作り出し、同時に村人の抵抗力も高めていった。
Okay.
お社様ってのは何者なんだよ一体。医学先進国っていうとドイツか？正体はひょっとしてナンパして流れ着いた外国人医師？
多分ケイチ君の答えが一番一般的だと思う。ドイツ人ではないんだけど、とりあえず医者的な存在であったのは正解。
古代の伝説の秘密が明かされていくってのはなんだか面白いな。
I don't think that run of story is too crazy to be true anymore. It still sounds crazy, of course, but I've never heard any fears that explain the legend of this village better than this one. Fair enough, yeah.
多分俺も感染してるんだよな。なんだか体中が痒くなってくるぜ。
人間だって一つの宇宙だよ。体の中には無数の細菌たちが住んでいる。その中には私たちの生活には欠かせない有用な細菌たちも少なくないんだよ。
ああ、よくヨーグルトとかの CM で言ってるよな。確かにそうだ。
これもミオさんの受け売りだけど、例えばシロアリっているでしょ。木材を食い荒らしてしまうアリ。実はシロアリって木材を消化できないんだって。体内に寄生している特殊な細菌が食べた木材の繊維を分解してくれて、その結果シロアリは木材を吸収できるんだって。これも寄生虫と共生している一例だね。
I did not know that. Yeah. When I hear the word parasites, I feel creeped out almost instinctively. But now I know some of them aren't so bad to us.
だから太古の昔に鬼ヶ淵村から突如発生した奇怪な伝染病は今ではほぼ根絶されたと言っていい。根絶じゃないね。無害になったと言うべきだね。
More like dormained. Or, yeah, dormant.
最初はとんでもない話だと思ってたけどさ、こうして種明かしがされるとなんだかサイエンスな感じがしてちょっと面白い話だよな。
私たちには面白いよ。でもお社様を神として崇める人たちにとってはこれはとても不愉快な説。
Of course, if Takano-san's theory is correct, Osho-sama isn't a god. And the punishment by that god, namely the curse of Osho-sama that people have been so afraid of, would turn out to have just been the symptoms of an infectious disease. You see, that's what dethroning God would mean.
だとすると、もしこの伝染病の病原体を特定して世間に発表されるようなことがあれば、信仰は破綻しちまうな。
そう。それこそが彼らの一番恐れることなの。そしてミオさんはその病原体を特定しようとしていたらしい。そのミオさんが消されたということは
特定できたってことが。
かもしれないね。ミオさんはもういないし、彼女のスクラップ帳にも特定できたとは書かれていない。でも消されるに値する理由が他に思いつかないの。
でもよ、20世紀ももうすぐ終わろうっていう現代だぜ。村人だっていろんな医療機関で検査を受けてきたはずだ。
I mean, you don't, if you're not looking for a parasite, you know, don't detect it.
なのに、そういう怪しげな寄生虫が摘出されたって話はないんだろ
う。うん。確かに病原体そのものは未だ発見されていない。でも確かに何かの規制を受けていることの信号だけは確認されているんだって。
なんだって？本当かよ？
When a parasite enters a human body, that body's immune system cells, as encephalitis and microphages, try to kill the parasite. They secrete an antibody called immunoglobulin E, IgG. The most common way of checking if a person is affected by a pathogen is to look at the levels of this secretion. According to Takano's research, people from Himizawa have a very high level of IgG in their blood. But that's not all. They also have obvious symptoms of being infected by parasites. They don't have any allergies. IgG simulates mast cells, and they secrete histamines and serotonin as a result. These cause an allergic reaction. That allergic reaction isn't pleasant for humans, but it's necessary for the body to kill the pathogen. But the parasites don't want to be killed, of course, so they secrete substances that counteract IgG. As a result, IgE stops stimulating the receptors of the mast cells, which stop secreting the chemical compounds. As a result, the antigen-antibody reaction, namely the allergic reaction, doesn't occur. In other words, a human body that was infected by a parasite secretes a high level of IgE, but doesn't display allergic reactions. For your information, a human body that's infected by a parasite doesn't suffer from hay fever. You get hay fever due to your body secreting a large amount of IgE because it's mistaken pollen for a parasitic invasion. As a result, a large number of stimulants like histamine will be secreted, but your body can't contain the parasite that is attempting to kill. That's why your body continues to secrete IgE. As a result, the stimulants keep causing allergic reactions. That's how hay fever works. If you have a parasite in your body, it will deactivate your IgE and suppress the secretion of stimulants. As a result, you don't have an allergic reaction. In other words, there's no hay fever in Himizawa, and you can cure your hay fever by moving here.
つまり特定はできなくてもその存在だけは疑いようがないってわけだ。
そうなるね。
だとするとそのスクラップ帳は信心深い連中にとっては十分危険な存在だな。たとえ特定できなくても存在を証明している時点で十分に危険だと思うぞ。
そうだね。たとえ証拠にはならなくても、彼らにとってはミオさんを葬るに値する危険性があったと思う。
確かに恐ろしい秘密だな。ちゃんと説明してもらえば理解できることだが、いきなり聞いたら刺激が強すぎる話だぜ。
でしょ？だから私も最初は信じられなかったし、圭一君に話しても信じてもらえないと思った。
で、大事なのはその事実を隠蔽しようと暗躍してるヤバい連中がいるって方なんだよな。
そう。今大事なのはそっちの方。
The fanatics who want to revive the sanctity of the god they worship, reviving the majesty of their god means reviving the power of that god. And the power of their god is the infectious disease. This infectious disease can't spread nationwide, unlike other infectious diseases. So from now on, I'm going to start calling it an endemic disease. That fits better since it only affects this region. Anyway, the endemic disease of current-day Himizawa is different from the one of old times. It's been through a process of natural selection and it's harmless now. In other words, it doesn't do any harm to human bodies. That harm was once interpreted as a curse. A curse is the power of a god, so a harmless endemic disease means that the god is powerless. That means the only way to gain the majesty of that god is to revive the curse. In other words, they want to bring back the primitive endemic disease, namely the harmful, strong version of the parasite. So in order to bring back the more violent tendencies of this parasite within the villagers, they start doing these murders every year to make people more on edge, right? Make people more on edge and more susceptible to emotional trauma, which pretty much activate the parasites within people that start causing them to go in slightly more violent tendencies. Got it. I got it.
信者たちは神が実は寄生虫だったなんてことは否定したいんだろう。なのに寄生虫を研究するのかよ。矛盾してないか。
矛盾しているよ。だからこの研究は信者たちのトップだけが知る秘密の研究なんだと思う。彼らは表向きは信仰を盛り上げているけど、その裏では信仰の正体について極めて冷静に理解していて、神の技を自らの手で復活させようとしている。
なるほどな。おいおい、なんだかとんでもない話になってきたぞ。
ミオさんのスクラップ帳にはそうとは一言も書かれてないんだけど、
入江診療所がどうして？
ひなみ沢の規模から見て施設が立派すぎるのがその理由。そしてミオさんはそこに勤めていた。監督は園崎家にスカウトされてきた細菌学者が正体とか。
監督がか？
ミオさんは余計なことを知りすぎたから消されたんだと思うの。なのに監督が消されない理由は、監督は信者たちに依頼されている立場だから。
そして太古の有害な風土病を研究してるってのか？あの監督が。
ごめん、監督は無関係かもしれないね。今のは私の思いつき。でも
That's true.
研究は間違いなくどこかで誰かにさせている。そしてその研究には5年かかり、ついに完成を見た。
The first case was the dismembered murder by the damned construction workers. Their quarrel had turned into lynching, that they might have had the primitive infectious disease and the symptoms, the aggression and delirium might have kicked in. Okay, gotcha. The first murder was actually an incident. And once, like, this group spotted that, they're like, oh shit, we gotta look into this. The victims of the second year were Sadako's parents. There were no witnesses, so the whole event is veiled in mystery, but there is a fear that someone might have pushed them over the cliff since the fence of the observation deck that they fell from was quite sturdy. What if one of them was infected by the primitive parasite? He or she might have become violent and pushed the other over the cliff. The Shinto priest died from a disease, and his wife drowned herself in the third year. He might have died of shock because of a hypersensitive reaction to the infection. His wife might have gone crazy and committed suicide when one of the symptoms, delirium, kicked in. In the fourth year, Satoshi Hojo's aunt was beaten to death, probably by Satoshi himself. Everybody who knew Satoshi-kun remembers how he changed at that time. He showed signs of being both aggressive and delirious. In the fifth year, for the first time in 5 years, the victim experienced the maggot disease described in the old scroll of the Furude Shrine. The reason behind that is unclear, but the stronger primitive parasite could have given its victims a delusion of maggots. This means that they finally managed to duplicate the curse of Oshiro-sama. After 5 years of research. You know what? The syringe they've developed is like they created that pretty much. Like they created from like the parasites or whatever and took them and like distilled it into a liquid form of the parasite pretty much that like goes into effect immediately, just like that. Which, you know, was demonstrated by Rika's death in Chapter 5. So, Tomiki-san is the victim of the 5th year. He died in an extremely abnormal way, and I'm the only one who understands his death because I experienced the same thing. He kept crawling at his throat to get rid of the maggots and died as a result. With all that explained, I finally understand the maggot disease I experienced in Ibaki. I left Himizawa and made the parasite in me uncomfortable. As a result, it tried to resist, even though it wasn't very strong, and it tried to make me homesick. But with my parents' divorce, I grew mentally unbalanced, and I completely lost the power to resist for a period of time. The parasite was weak and harmless, but my mental instability allowed it to worsen my symptoms dramatically. As a result, I went crazy and became violent. The delusion of Oshiro-sama appearing to me in the bathroom was probably the terminal phase of my delirium. I created the supernatural existence Oshiro-sama that I was instilled with when I was little. Then I persuaded myself to go back to Himizawa based on that delusion. Some of the transcendents of Onokafuchi must have had that same kind of experience. They must have passed their experiences down as the acts of God. I remember I once saw on TV that the indigenous people in South America used some kind of natural drug in order to have a mystical experience, and that they called it a ritual to communicate with their gods.
じゃあ信者どもの目的はその太古の寄生虫をひなみ沢中にばらまくことなのか。
多分それが最終目的だと思う。でも人知れずにそれをやることはないと思うの。宗教にはセレモニーが必要だから。だからもし彼らが望むものを生み出せてそれをばらまく日が訪れたなら、彼らは多分それをお社様の復活の日とでも称して宗教的なデモンストレーションをすると思うの。何か特別な儀式とか、とにかくお社様の復活を祝い知らしめるような盛大な何か。
なあ、それってよ、悪いことなんだよな。
危険性の高い病原体をばらまこうというんだから、多分悪いことに分類されるだろうね。
Yeah, I guess you could say, it's pretty fucking bad. Man, this game has a lot in common with Pathologic. A disease that's going around town throughout the course of a week, and there's not a lot you could do to stop it. And hell, German doctor as well. Man, Pathologic's such a weird fucking game. Anyway, enough of that tangent.
それって最近テロって言わないか。おい、めちゃくちゃやばいことだぞ。おい、富武さんの死に方がお社様のたたりの再現に成功していた以上、X デーは間近ってことなんじゃないのか。
わからない。もう秒読みなのか、まだまだ時間のかかることなのか。
もうこれはレナ一人が抱えていい問題じゃないぞ。かなり笑えない大陰謀だぞ。俺たちにはどうしようもない。警察に任す方がないぞ。
私が話したこと、警察は信じてくれると思う？
信じるかどうかは向こうが判断するだろう。とにかく話した方がいい。
圭一君、それを大石さんに私が打ち明けたら、私がスクラップ帳を持っていることを告白するのと同じなんじゃないかな。
それってまずいのか？
大石さんの接触はミオさんが殺された後だった。敵はミオさんを殺した時点でスクラップ帳の紛失とその数日前に私が図書館で出会っていることを知っている。
バカな。つまり。
そう、大石さん自体が敵の手先である可能性がある。大石さんは私がスクラップ帳を持っている可能性があると当たりをつけていて、探りを入れてきているのかもしれない。実際彼はうさんくさくて腹を割らない。園崎家を疑わせるようなことを言って自分は味方だと言ってくるけど、彼だってその園崎家の手先かもしれない。
警察を疑い出したらおしまいだぞ。
I don't know.
圭一君、4年目の撲殺事件を知ってるよね。聡子ちゃんのおばさんが殺された事件。あれは犯人はサトシ君以外に考えられないんだけど、その後犯人は麻薬中毒者だったということになった。これをどう思う？
警察内部に盲信的な連中の手先が混じっていて、犯人を捏造したってことか。
3年目の神主さんの病死の検視とか、2年目の北条夫妻の事故現場の見聞とか。警察がもしも彼らの片棒を担いでいるなら、数々の完全犯罪が可能になる。
Couple of police officers could be in on that, but I don't think Oshi is one of them.
ひなみ沢御三家はダム戦争時から今日に至るまでもずっと警察への圧力を維持してるんだよ。それに沖宮の町のいろんなところに一族が進出して実権を握っているというのはみーちゃんから聞かされたことがあるんじゃない？
確かにそれはミオンの口からだけじゃない。いろんな奴の口から聞かされた。ミオンの園崎家がどれだけ市内全域に強力な影響力を持っているかってのをな。
そういうこと。警察はこの土地では必ずしも信用できない。
レナ、すまん。先にはっきりさせたいんだが、黒幕は園崎家なのか、ミオンも関係があるってのか、それだけは先に聞かせてくれ。
御三家であるみーちゃんやリカちゃんが直接関係しているかはわからない。ただ盲信的な勢力が御三家や一番の有力家である園崎家を自由に動かせる中枢部に根付いているのは間違いない。盲信的な勢力が根付いたのか、御三家の中枢が盲信的なのかは分かりかねるけどね。
Could be the fanatics are controlling the free families, holding the parasites as blackmail over them, even the Sonozakis themselves, because that would not be good for public, for PR. Hey, so that senator you elected, yeah, it turns out he has a bunch of parasites in him. Not a great public image look.
関係あるかどうかわからない以上、用心に越したことはないってわけだな。
みーちゃんたちのことを疑うわけじゃないよ。普段のみーちゃんは頼もしいし、私も他の心配事なら打ち明けて助力を求めることもあると思う。ただ今回のことはちょっと話の次元が違う。圭一君は見たことあるかな。みーちゃんは普段はふざけているけど、園崎家の次期当主として振る舞うときはものすごく冷酷で別人みたいに振る舞えるの。
Very true.
それにもし無関係だったとしても、それならばやはり耳に入れることで危険に巻き込むことにもなるんじゃないかな。
ミオンたちが味方になってくれればかなり頼もしいと。俺は打ち明ける価値があると思うんだが。
だからそれはダメ。敵ではないと確認が取れるまでそれは避けるべきだよ。味方にできれば確かに心強いけど、そうでなかった時はどうするつもり？
じゃあ俺とレナだけでどう戦うつもりなんだよ。
もともと最初から絶望的な戦いなんだよ。だから圭一君を巻き込みたくなかった。
くそ、高野さんめ、とんでもない置き土産を残してくれたな。
でもそのおかげでとてつもない陰謀を知ることができたんだよ。これはミオさんの遺言なんだよ、きっと。
村を影から牛耳る何者かに、こいつは最高にハードな話だぜ。一筋縄じゃいかねえぞ。
でも圭一君が味方でよかったよ。二人だから話し合えて相談できる。
当たり前だろ。俺は最初からずっとレナの味方で仲間だぞ。
ありがとう。二人なら心強いよ。
一人で悩むよりは建設的になれるだろうしな。
そうだね。二人でどう戦えばいいか、これからじっくり相談していこう。今日は私スクラップ帳を読み直す時間が欲しかったから休んだけど、明日からは普段通りに生活するね。おかしな行動をすれば気取られてしまうかもしれないからね。圭一君も変に構えないで普段通りに生活してね。みーちゃんとか時折鋭いことがあるから特に気をつけて。
わかった。何事もなかったかのように生活するよ。だが畜生、なんだか怖いぜ。とんでもない陰謀が間近に迫ってて、それがもうカウントダウンに入ってるかもしれないってんだぜ。それを知りつつ普段通りに生活しろってのも辛い話だよな。
多分そんなにすぐじゃないはずなの。さっきも言った通り、彼らが信心深ければ深いほど宗教的なセレモニーを必要とするはず。そういうセレモニーは村を挙げて行うものだもの。綿流し以上のイベントは今のひなみ沢には存在しない。
ということは、スク 少なくとも来年の綿流しまでは大丈夫ということか。
根拠のない読みだけどね。他に綿流し以上のイベントが思いつかない。
I think we have a year at least, but I also feel like we don't because of how they killed Mio-san. Might not know, but there might be a bigger religious event than Wanagagashi. It might not be long until that day. On the day of Oshio-sama's revival, they are going to spread a dangerous parasite, and that day might be just around the corner.
レイナ、まだ電話してるのか？そろそろ終わりにしなさい。
My father stuck his head out from the living room, telling me I need to hang up soon. I thought about telling him so many times. It's natural to think that your parents will be on your side no matter what, but I know I just how weak he can get, so I couldn't tell him. I don't think he'd believe me anyway, even if I told him. He'd just tell me to call the police. It's better that I don't tell him. They might get close to my father to get to me. If he didn't know anything about anything, including scrapbooks, there'll be nothing to squeeze out of him to begin with.
ごめんね、ケイチ君。今夜はもう遅いからこれで切るね。また明日学校で。
おう、また明日学校で。
用心してね。ケイチ君ももう部外者じゃないんだから。
おう、せいぜい気をつけるぜ。
We're on the inside now. I remember the suspicious men in the white van and felt a chill run through my spine. They looked like villagers, but they weren't. They had the village accent, but they were just pretending. The more I thought about it, the more suspicious they became. It let me know that Rena and I weren't safe. If Rena's right, they're just suspicious of her, and they're not sure if she has the scrapbooks or not. But it's still creepy. Rena probably experienced the same creepiness I felt when I saw the van several times up until now. She must sense the danger more than I do. However, the fact that they weren't attacking, that they were merely absorbing us was disturbing. If they attacked her, she could have done something like going to the police. But all they're doing is watching her from a distance. She can't do anything about it. She can't talk to anybody about it. She probably just wants to stay in her house all day. But if she acted different, they might take it as proof that she has the scrapbooks. We have to think about how to fight against them without making it obvious. I told myself there was no going back, and I put the phone down. Alright, wow, that's very, very convincingly, like, put the parasite thing into the perspective of the mythology, why they're doing it, the Oshio-sama murders, which aren't, well, first one was definitely a murder, but, like, first one was a accident. Second one was a, guess another accident, if we're going with the parasite theory. Puts a lot of things into perspective, really. And it's making me more and more convinced that it's not a red herring. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. The next day, when I came to school, acting normal like she said she would, she talked with Mion as cheerfully as she always did, and made me wonder if the story she told me last night was a complete fabrication. That's because the story really was too ridiculously crazy to believe. This village has a very weird and rare endemic disease, and there are religious fanatics who want to use the disease to revive their weird cult. And they've been researching the pathogen of the endemic disease so they can spread it throughout the village. I was deeply influenced by Rana last night, and I believed everything she said. But thinking about it with a cool mind under the bright sunlight, it sounds too crazy to be true. The story Rana told me is based on Takano-san's crazy hand-me-down ideas. It's based entirely on her theories, which, though very feasible, have no evidence whatsoever. The fact that Takano-san was murdered lends credit to the story, I'll give you that, but I looked at Mion. She was fooling around with Rana. It's hard to believe that she's involved with some crazy conspiracy.
ていうか聞いてないでしょ、ケイちゃん。
悪い。ごめん、聞いてなかった。
だ寝ぼけたまんまなのかな。寝不足だとおつむもちゃんと働かないよ。
Mion made fun of me for reacting too slowly. It's almost impossible not to trust this bubbly, cheerful girl. I trust Mion. I trust my friends. I know she never had a hand in a crazy conspiracy like that. If she knew about it, she wouldn't be able to act this cheerfully. Winna told me not to tell Mion because she might be one of them. But it might be worth telling her without letting Winna know. Of course, there's at least a 1% chance that the conspiracy is true and that Mion is one of them, and so I'd be doomed. But if I had to choose between believing the crazy conspiracy theory and trusting my friends, my answer would be obvious. I know that my friend Mion isn't a part of any conspiracy. She'd never be involved with something like that. Even if the conspiracy exists, I'm sure Mion will be on our side. So whether or not it's true, it must be worth telling Mion about it.
なあにケイちゃん、こんなところに呼び出して。それも誰にも内緒で来いなんてさ。まさかカツアゲとかそういうのじゃないよね。
Alright, let's start off with parasites.
お前な、体育倉庫の裏に呼ばれたら真っ先にそう思うのかよ。
じゃあラブレターとか。でもそういうのは下駄箱が定番じゃない？
都会じゃそうでもないぞ。直接渡す白兵線型も少なくない。
じゃあ
なわけねえだろ。それよりかなり真面目な話がある。茶化しは一切なしで聞いてくれ。
何よ、どうしたの？
お社様信仰を復活させようとしている連中がいるってのは知ってるか？
は？何、ケイちゃん、何の話？
This, of course, was just my way of getting a feel for the situation. I want to see how she was going to react by getting straight to the point. But Mion really did look puzzled. People wouldn't normally react like this if someone pointed out their secrets out of the blue. They always panic if only just a little. Either Mion was a willing actress, or she really didn't have anything to do with the idea of reviving Osho-sama. Decided to tell her everything. And plus, we already kind of know that she doesn't believe in Osho-sama back in chapter 3. Yep, chapter 3. After Shion told Kechi about Satoshi and how, Rana went into crazy mode about Osho-sama and how Mion doesn't really believe in that type of stuff.
ミオ、お前の家の園崎家ってひなみ沢を含めものすごい影響力を持ってるわけだけどさ、お社様信仰を復興するため何か暗躍してるってことはあるか？
復興？なんで？
いや、だからさ、今のお社様信仰って大昔の時代に比べたらだいぶ信仰心が薄くなってるだろ。それをさ、大昔の鬼ヶ淵村のレベルまで引き戻したいと思っている、いわゆる原理主義者的な連中が暗躍をしてるんじゃないかって。
はい？ちょっと何よそれ。何の話なわけ？
本当に何の話かわからないのか？
わかるわけないよ。何その全米第1位みたいな面白ストーリーはさ。
Mian's reaction was very natural. It seemed impossible that she was pretending she didn't know anything about it. But regardless, I continued.
いや、だからそういう連中がこの村にいるらしいんだよ。ミオは知らないか？
お社様信仰を鬼ヶ淵村の時代のレベルに？そんなことして何かいいことあるの？
いや、それは信仰の厚い盲信的な連中にとってはとても重要な意味があるんじゃないかな。
だってケイちゃん、大昔の厳しい戒律の頃に逆戻りって誰も喜ばないよ。今のこの現代、村から出るななんて言われたら生活なんかやってられないって。
例えばほらリカちゃん。リカちゃんって何でもお社様の生まれ変わりとか言ってちやほやされてるらしいだろ。そういった取り巻きの老人たちの中にはきっと執着的な一派が存在して。
リカちゃんの取り巻きっていうと君吉のおじいちゃんとかのこと？まあ確かに信仰心は熱い方だと思うけど、盲信的ってのはどうかと思うね。
いやだからいるんだよ。本来のお社様信仰を再び復活させようとしている輩が。
What if it isn't a revival of Oshiro-sama as a cult? What if, hear me out, what if the group that's behind this aren't fanatical? They're people that's researching into the parasites. Yes, 100%. They're researching into the parasites in order to use them as weapons for other people besides Himizawa. They're not trying to control Himizawa because it's a small village in the middle of nowhere. Sure, they have the Sonozaki family, but that's highly influential within the prefecture. But I think the group that's behind this are researching into the parasites in order to make it a biological weapon to either sell it to other countries and gain the profits, right? Or use it for their own ends.
はいはい。話が進まないからこの場は信じるよ。それで
そいつらはお社様の正体がこの土地独特の風土病にあることを突き止め、その病原体を研究しているらしいんだ。
どこで？というか風土病って何？病原体って何よ？
Oh boy, I have to go for all this now again. I was getting confused. I didn't know what I was talking about myself anymore. I was deeply influenced by Rona last night and believed everything she said. But having said it all out loud, I started realizing how impossible the story sounded.
どうしたの？ミオさんに妙なことでも吹き込まれたわけ？
知ってるのか？
有名だよ。あの人オカルトマニアだからいつもとんでもない空想話をでっち上げてる。たまに真に受ける人がいるとかなりヘビーに吹き込むって有名なんだよ。私も昔話を聞かせてもらったことがあったけど
それって本当か？
ケイちゃんもどこかで耳にしてるだろうけど、この村は大昔はちょっと特殊な文化があった。それは少し刺激の強い要素のある文化でね。厳しい戒律と厳しい刑罰、残酷な風習は割とオカルトマニアの間では知られてるらしい。ミオさんもそんなマニアの中の一人。
じゃあこの村が怪しげな寄生虫に支配されているという話は？は
あ？寄生虫？それミオさんの新作？
新作ってどういうことだよ？
言ったでしょ、ミオさんはオカルトマニアなの。鬼ヶ淵村の奇怪な伝説などを研究して、あれやこれやの仮説や推理、妄想を楽しんでるわけよ。だからその寄生虫に村が支配されてるって説以外にもいろいろ創作してる。私がずいぶん前に聞いたのは UFO 説だったよ。これが結構辻褄があってて面白いの。太古の昔に鬼ヶ淵村に UFO が墜落して、そこから出てきた異星人と村人で戦いが起こってという感じから始まる B 級 SF ホラーだった。聡子が聞かされたってのは地底人説だったかな。地殻変動によって地底王国と鬼ヶ淵村の間に接点ができてしまって、それでなんだっけかな。そうそう、地底王国のお姫様と村の若者が恋をして、 互いに仲直りをしたっていう SF ロミオとジュリエットだった。んで最新作がどうやらケイちゃんの聞かされた寄生虫説ってわけみたいだね。いやいや、いつかそれらを全部まとめて本にしてほしいよ。
Mion began laughing so hard that she had to hold her stomach. As I looked at her laughing like that, I realized I fell for something that ridiculous. But the damn thing is, it's a 50-50, man. It's a 50-fucking-50. Oh my god, it's so... Oh my fucking god. It's so great at making these damn 50-50, giving evidence to both sides of the damn argument. Like, it could be parasites. It does explain the violent tendencies we've seen in each chapter, but at the same time, it could just be human nature going into fight or flight mode during emotional trauma. It could just be a human, natural human reaction. Oh, God. What do I believe? What do I believe? It's very... I think another thing in this story is that I really like about it is that it's given us answers, yes. But the bigger questions of the story, you just have to decide for yourself. Which one you believe is quite literally up to the viewer themselves. Of like, do you believe that this is a more supernatural story? Or do you believe this is a more realistic story? Do you believe this is a parasite? Or do you believe this is just a mentally ill girl that's just connecting a bunch of dots who got a scrapbook from a woman who was into occult stuff and made up a lot of things to connect dots, because as humans we like to connect things in order to explain stuff. I mean, take instance like mysterious events like the Malaysia Flight 37 flight, the mysterious airliner that disappeared in 2013. People have made 1,000 theories of what could possibly happen to them, ranging from realistic to fantastical, like it was aliens, or maybe it crashed somewhere, but where are the wreckage parts of it? And it's like, what do you believe? What do you believe? I have to say that this game does give that same theory, like, same feeling, I should say, as those mysterious events that have happened throughout, like, history that people, like, talk about in, like, video essays and all that, like Malaysia Flight 375, or the Takwal Pass incident, or the mysterious disappearances in the, Rockies, whatever. People, like, this game gives off that, like, feeling of, like, a bunch of mysterious stuff is happening. What do you think is happening? It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is. What do you think is happening? That's what this game asks us. To come up with our own theories on what the fuck is happening in this damn village. What the fuck? It gives us the evidence. It just says, go wild with it. Come up with what you want. Like, you could believe in this parasite theory, or maybe you have your own damn theory, like, this is all a time loop, Like, hell, I've been thinking about that, actually. Of, like, what if all this is in a time loop? Like, because, it keeps happening over and over, and slight variations are happening, I mean, hell, we did get that passage from last episode that said, from a mysterious character, person, passage, or whatever, that no matter where they go to get out of this maze, Jiro Tomaki always dies. So somebody in the story is aware that Tomaki always dies in every one of these different timelines, So I don't know. I don't know. It's it's a lot, and I love it. At that point, it was obvious. I'd been completely taken in.
すまんミオ。俺がこれから聞くことに答えてくれ。まずお社様信仰を復活させようとする連中は実在する？
しないよ。というかむしろ逆。ひなみ沢は外部に対してどんどん開いていって栄えさせていこうということで、御三家はすでに意見を統一してる。これはまだ内緒なんだけど、21世紀までをめどにね、新しい高速道路がここいらを通るという計画があるんだよ。園崎家は現在水面下でその誘致をしててね。うまくいけばここいらは一気に栄えることになる。バッチャはそれによって山林の地価が一気に高騰して大儲けできると踏んでるみたいだよ。まあ21世紀の仕事だから、それは私が引き継ぐ大仕事になりそうだけどね。
じゃあ外部の人間を意味嫌う連中なんてのは存在しない？
だからそんなの存在しないって。ただでさえ不便な村をさらに不便にしてどうするんだか。現に村は今別荘地として売り出しを開始してる。ケイちゃんの家はまさにその第1号じゃないの。村人はみんな歓迎してくれたでしょ。若者の流出を食い止めるため御三家もいろいろと考えてるんだから。
There's nothing vague about what Mion said. Her story makes a lot more sense to Takano-san's delusional theories, so Mion's words woke me up from that delusion.
じゃああれはどうだよ。寄生虫の感染の証拠を示す血液中のなんとかとかいう数値がひなみ沢の住民だけ異常に高いみたいな話が。
そうなの？というかミオさんはそんなのどうやって調べたわけ？
だって高野さんは看護師だろ。調べる気になればいくらだって。
そんな怪しげな調査のために誰が血液採取なんかに協力するの？誰もしないって。それに仮に採血をしたってどこでどう調べたわけ？ミオさんがたった一人で一体何人の血を調べられたっていうわけ？
Mion was right. Couldn't believe I thought Takano-san could do all of that just because she was a nurse. It shook me hard to believe that she got that many blood samples and did a high-level examination like that without any help. When I thought about it rationally, I shouldn't have believed such a ridiculous story so easily.
寄生虫の規制の証拠として花粉症にかからないって聞いたぞ。
花粉症って都会の病気じゃないの。
I mean, they're used to the countryside.
あれは確か排気ガスと関係があるんでしょ？
Yeah, that too, pollution.
ここはひなみ沢だよ、ケイちゃん。というか多分沖宮の人にだって花粉症なんてそうそういないと思うけど。
じゃああれは園崎本家当主直属の暗殺部隊ってのがいて、昔大臣の孫の誘拐とかをやったんだろう。
そんなのがいたらかっこいいね。
Even I was sounding ridiculous, but I believed all of it last night. I believed it because Rena looked very serious.
大臣の孫が高津戸のあたりで突然発見されたのは事実だけれど、あれは私たちじゃない。私たちじゃないけど、それを私たちはさも自分たちが犯したように振る舞ってた。
わかりにくいぞ。説明してくれ。
ダム戦争の当時、鬼ヶ淵死守同盟は相当に物騒な抵抗運動をしていたのは事実。脅迫めいたこともやってのけた。でもね、あの当時それを利用するやらしい連中もいたらしいの。鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の名を語って金品を要求したりするエセ同盟って連中。
Even if the G Guardians were a very aggressive force at that time, there's a high possibility that some people thought they could use their name to extort money.
その中に大臣の孫の誘拐もあったの。おそらく誘拐犯たちは警察の捜査の撹乱を狙って死守同盟のふりをして身代金を要求したんだと思う。 正直あの事件は同盟にとっても驚きだったよ。よく大臣の孫を誘拐できたもんだって話題になったね。犯人たちに会えたら表彰してやろうなんて盛り上がったっけ。
ちょっと待って。じゃあ大臣の孫の誘拐は鬼ヶ淵死守同盟は何も関係ないのかよ。
うん、全くない。
Mion said it firmly. It was a simple and clear answer, which left no room for suspicion. Shit, I have to check chapter 4 again. Fuck. God damn it. God damn it. You know what? No, now I'm thinking about it. I mean, shit. I mean, Oryu has used the tactic before. She could just act like she's the one behind it, that she knows of it and put in suspicion within the town. That she's the one in control, but in actuality she has no idea. She did it before with the murders because of chapter 5. That does make sense. Those two guys that Akishi, I cannot remember his name for right now. Him and Oshi fought against like two guys that did have the kid. But what was the ransom note again? You know what? I gotta check. I'll be right back. Yeah, the ransom was pretty much right to stop the dam, but that could have just been a cover to pin the blame on the Onikafuchi Guardians, which is very easy to do. Yeah, maybe. Also, yeah, I could see it from. See where Mion is coming from with that. The Onikafuchi Guardians weren't behind it. It could have been another group that just pinned it on them, and they just wanted the minister like out of to stop the dam, or maybe to, I don't know, get him out of office somehow. I don't know. You know, it's possible. Honestly, it is possible. And thinking about it, it's nothing surprising. Kidnapping the grandson of the minister and negotiating with him in person is a huge deal. The Onikafuchi Guardians were a very aggressive group, but this operation wasn't so easy that it could be carried out by any of the normal residents of Hinazawa. It was obviously the work of professional criminals without a doubt.
ただね、さっきも少し言いかけたけど、園崎本家はね、この誘拐事件を自分たちが黒幕であるかのように振る舞っていた。
振る舞ったってのはどういうことだ？
これは園崎本家の秘密の家訓なの。ケイちゃんにはこっそり話すけど、話したことは内緒だよ。園崎本家ではね、自分たちに都合がいい何かの事件が起こった時、あたかもそれが自分たちの差し金であるように振る舞うブラフの伝統があるの。
ブラフってはったり？
うん。自分たちに利することがあったなら、それは事件でなくてもいい。お天気でもいいし、宝くじの当選番号でもいい。あたかも園崎本家が望んだからそのような結果になったかのように振る舞うの。そうするとどう？なんだかものすごい黒幕ってイメージになるでしょ？つまりはそういうこと。これは園崎本家の当主だけに代々公伝で伝承される秘密のイメージ戦略なの。自分たちを本来よりもより強大に見せようとするイメージ戦略。
じゃあほら、ダム戦争時に建設省を占拠するって作戦があったんだろ？あれは。しかもそのために武器やら訓練やら。
それも全く同じだよ、ケイちゃん。 そんなバカな作戦本当にやるわけないじゃん。最大の目的はあいつらならやりかねない、なんて恐ろしいやつらだっていうプレッシャーと幻想を与えるのが最大の目的だったんだよ。つまりこれもまたイメージ戦略ってわけ。
They obtained weapons and went for training just so they could exact pressure. They had no intention of actually carrying out the plan. The Sonozaki family was just bluffing. It made sense. Of course it did. It's impossible to attack the Ministry of Construction even if they did and wouldn't have solved the problem. All I had to do was use common sense. Even if they did, they would have been crushed within seconds by a huge number of policemen. Why didn't I think about that?
じゃあ武器とか訓練とかってのは？
武器に関してはノーコメントでいいよね。訓練もやったよ。ハッタリになるようちゃんとしっかりね。葛西さんをリーダーにお父さんとこの若い衆たちを引き連れてテキサスの砂漠でトレーナーさんと戦争ごっこをやった後はサンフランシスコでのんびり観光してた。
じゃあ
I couldn't think of anything else. It was obvious now. Rena and I both were completely fooled by the scrapbooks of Takano-san's delusions. But wait, man, the damn... Oh, but the damn white van. Who the fuck were those people outside of Keji's house at the end of chapter 1 then? The lab... Was that just Ire? But the end of... it's the... There's more to this. There's so much more to this than the damn parasites. Hell, maybe the parasites aren't even real. Or maybe they are. Could be. I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening. My mind is gone. I don't know what's real anymore. Man, I don't know what's going on no more. When and I both were completely fooled by the scrapbooks of Takano-san's delusion. When I was so serious about it, so I believed her, but he examined it closely, there were so many inconsistencies. I couldn't believe Rona took a delusion like that so seriously. I knew the reason why, though. She was still in a state of shock after being caught with the corpses that day. She was mentally unstable. Then she came across this tall tale and she believed it. Rona's a smart girl. She wouldn't have taken it so seriously if she was stable. Plus another thing happened to wake me up from the delusion. The white van I saw yesterday came to school during the lunch break. The 4 men in work uniforms I saw were there too. I said thank you to Mion and followed them. The man who talked to me yesterday knocked on the door of the teacher's office.
毎度おこのぎ造園でございますね。
どうもご苦労様です。今日も暑いですね。
いえいえ、先生は今日もますますべっぴんで。
ではすみません。今日もよろしくお願いいたします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。これ、うちの事務屋から渡すように言われましたんで。
見積書と請求書ですね。ありがとうございます。日付は空欄ですね。問題ありません。はい、お預かりします。
はい、それでは取り掛かりますんで。
The man was talking to Chi-sensei with a big smile.
ん？どうしたのかね、前原君。
あ、校長先生。今の男の人は誰ですか？
Principal pointed his finger at the window. When I looked out, I heard the noise of an engine starting. The noise was coming from the engine of a motorized lawnmower. I saw young men in work uniforms taking another lawnmower, some brooms, and a ladder out of the van.
園芸業者さんである。だいぶ垣根や樹木が手入れされてなかったからの。夏前に一度剪定を頼もうと思ったのだよ。
ああ、校長先生。この度はお世話になりまして。
The man noticed the principal, took off his hat, and bowed.
よろしく頼み申しますぞ。
Oh my, they're fucking gardeners. Oh. Oh, god damn it. Now I'm thinking back to chapter 3. I'm thinking back to fucking chapter 3 with the gas. You know, at first I thought it was like, oh, it's a damn secret organization. But what if it actually was just volcanic fucking gas? Dude, what is happening? Dude, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Oh my god, it feels like I'm so close. I feel like I'm so close to finishing this damn jigsaw puzzle. But the damn... It's like the pieces I've already put in place are disappearing right before my damn eyes, man. It's like, what the fuck do I believe?
なんとか今日中で終わらせますんで。しばらくうるさくしますんが、ご容赦を。
Each worker took one of the tools and walked towards the fence where the grass was growing. The engine of the lawnmower was very loud, and the kids who were playing in the schoolyard looked at it curiously.
こら、危ないですから皆さん教室へ戻りなさい。
It was Chi-sensei. She handed an envelope with the documents to the principal. It said Okanigiri Gardeners in green on the envelope.
では校長先生、申し訳ありませんが、この請求書を後日市役所に行かれるときに持って行ってください。
心得た。
千恵先生、あの造園屋さんは昨日も来てました？
ええ、昨日の夕方に一度下見に来てもらいました。帰りに近道をしようとして迷ってしまったと言ってましたっけ？
この村は細い道はだいぶ入り組んでおるからの。無理もないわい。
I remember when I first came here, Chi-sensei started talking about when she got lost and they left together. There was never anything suspicious to begin with. I thought they were suspicious yesterday because of what Rana told me. At first I thought it was unusual to see a white van. But then right after I heard a creepy story, I saw a white van parked on the road and I got scared. The gardeners weren't familiar with the roads of Himizawa and they got lost trying to take a shortcut on their way back. That's all. I had to totally twist it around? Great, now I'm thinking back to fucking chapter 1, the end of chapter... No. At the end of chapter 1, Kechi was knocked out by 2 fucking guys. Yeah, sure, there's a white van as well. Oh. I believe that fake-sounding story. I believe that the Sonozaki families worked behind the scenes, and I fabricated the existence of a group of fanatical believers in my mind. Worse, I doubted Mion. Damn it! Such a fool! She's my friend! Took each other's hands that day, saying that we were a family made of friends, and that friends were friends no matter what. I said that, but then I downed my friend. I'm so stupid. Anyway, Rena was the problem. She also needed to wake up from this crazy delusion. I needed to hurry and wake her up. When it seemed like she had no mind to listen to anyone else. She truly believes that the Sonozaki family are the masterminds of a large-scale conspiracy. Oh no. I remember the plate number of the white van, and I also remember their faces. Without a doubt, this was one of the vans that have been following me. So far, I've confirmed that 3 or 4 cars have been following me. I could especially call it this white van because it followed me around the longest of all. The people who were in the other cars must be the lookouts, and the ones in this van must be tasked with direct contact with kidnapping or assassination. The lookouts secure the surroundings, and the ones in this van attack the target. That's a common maneuver involved in both kidnapping and assassination. The scrapbook said that too. Dude! Oh my god. The reason why we have 2 main characters in this chapter is to, like... It's basically telling the viewer, which one do you believe? Which one do you believe? Do you believe Kechi, or do you believe Rena? It's like, I don't know. Oh no, my mind is breaking. Oh god. This is a common mover that involved in both. Scrapbook said that too. So I better watch out because it was them, not the lookouts who came to the school premises. I don't think they'll attack me in school. They're in the early stage of their covert operation now, hiding their fangs and claws until the last stage of their horrifying scheme. That's why they won't take action in the school where people are watching. But it looked like they were talking to Chi-sensei in a very friendly way. Could only hear bits and pieces of the conversation, but it sounded very suspicious. Tried to remember the chatter and the movements of their mouths, and they played the memory of it like a videotape on my mind.
毎度
どうもご苦労様です。今日も暑いですね。
いいえいいえ。
ではすみません。今日もよろしくお願いいたします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。これうちの事務屋から渡すように言われましたんで。
とですね。ありがとうございます。わ、空欄ですね。問題ありません。はい、お預かりします。
はい、それでは。りますんで。
I used the information I had to guess what was going on. I played the video again and again in my mind, and also paused it and played it in slow motion again to check many times. Then something unbelievably horrifying started to emerge. There's no doubt that they're acquainted with Chi-sensei, but I've never seen them visit the school before, so it's hard to believe that Chi-sensei is their contact. There's no doubt that they're death squad under the direct control of the Sonozaki family. They have the local accent, which proves that they were chosen from the Sonozaki corps. The death squad was talking with Chi-sensei. They know each other. What's their relationship? Who's Chi-sensei anyway? During the dam conflict, Himizawa's school was closed and was merged with the one in Okayama. But the Onofuchi Guardians didn't accept that, and they made it a part of the forestry service building into school. But needless to say, the school they made didn't have a teacher, so it was only going to be a token form of resistance. But a teacher who had a strong passion for education felt sorry for the children, and she came to work there. That was Ryumiko Chi-sensei. It was obviously strange. Teachers are government employees, and they normally belong to prefectures. As long as they write well and don't cause trouble, they don't get fired and they don't get demoted. They can work up until the official retirement age, and they're guaranteed to get a fixed retirement fund. She was one of those government appointments, but she defied the Board of Education and came to work for Himizawa. The villagers admired her as a teacher of passion. I heard that Oryu Sonozaki herself successfully negotiated with the Board of Education that suspended Chi-sensei for defying their orders. It was easy to get an answer from this by connecting the dots. Chi-sensei was recruited by Oryu Sonozaki as a teacher to work at the school the Onofuchi Guardians had created. In other words, she was already working for Oryu before she came here. As for the principal, he was the principal of the school in Himizawa from the beginning. He's a respected person of this region and has been closely associated with the three families for a long time. So that means the school has been under the control of the Sonozaki family all along. That's why Chi-sensei is acquainted with the Death Squad. It makes sense now. Chi-sensei confirmed that I came to school today, made a phone call, and called them here? I don't want to know why she called them here. If she called them just to monitor me, they'd wait till near the gate until class was over. But they came onto the school premises. Why? Stop pretending to be fool, Renariku. Do you think nothing will happen if you pretend not to notice it? Think hard and calm down, Renariku. What would they try to do to me today in school? School? How are they going to do anything with my classmates and friends around me? It's easy. Chi-sensei will tell me to come to the teacher's office during the last class of the day. What about my clubmates? That's easy too. Chi-sensei can easily make them go home early using her authority as a teacher. She can make up any reason she wants. Maybe the classroom is going to have carpentry work done today so they can't stay in school. See? There's no doubt. They clearly said they're ready to do it today. And what else?
はい、よろしくお願いします。これうちの事務屋から渡すように言われましたんで。
とですね。ありがとうございます。わ、空欄ですね。問題ありません。はい、お預かりします。
I see. They gave Chi-sensei an envelope with some documents in it. That blank is an eerily phrase. Was my name supposed to be in the blank? Why is it left blank? What does that mean? I told you, Renariku. Do you still think that nothing will happen if you pretend not to notice it? Stop that! So what it must mean is that it's an order from the higher up. It says to make Renariku become blank. I took a peek from the shadows and I saw the principal taking documents out from the envelope. He started reading them. He looked stern. He looked very serious. I wish I could take a peek at the documents, but I was too far away. I kept looking at him just to see if he'd react at all. Then the envelope caught my eye. The envelope said Onikuni Gardeners and had some numbers that looked like a phone number. Fortunately, I have good eyesight. I memorized the number. If they're a death squad, the gardening company must be a camouflage occupation. It probably doesn't even exist. I wanted to find out. I looked for a phone. There's only one phone, and it's in the teacher's office. Fortunately, teachers were chatting in the hallway looking at the gardeners. It was now or never. Made sure nobody was watching me. I'd go into the teacher's office. I washed in, grabbed the phone on the principal's desk. I went over the phone number in my head and dialed it up. I'm glad they have a touch tone phone. It would have been difficult if it was a rotary dial. Somebody answered that I'd only have to ask is the Oniguchi Gardeners. I'd wait for the answer before hanging up. It should be easy. Connected. I felt a cold chill run through my body from the bottom of my feet. Wait, don't make a quick judgment. I might have remembered the number wrong. No, I know I remembered it right. It was an easy number to remember. Is it possible to remember it wrong? Then, did I dial it wrong? Put the phone down and started over. This time I dialed the number more slowly. Teachers might be coming back at any time. In that situation, it was too risky to do anything slowly. But I needed to make absolutely sure. It's the same. There's no doubt. The company Oniguchi Gardeners doesn't exist. It's just a camouflage occupation for the Sonozaki's family death squad. I was too stunned to put down the receiver. The announcement kept running over and over again. The voice was cold and creepy. I hung up the phone and rushed out of the teacher's office. I ran to the bathroom and held my head in an attempt to cool down. Calm down, Rena. Calm down, Rena-Wiku. Stay cool. Rena-Wiku. I wasn't safe here anymore. If I stayed here, I might be erased, even in the open. They'd waste me? Why? They're answering that I have the scrapbooks. I told Kechi-kun where I hid the scrapbooks. Yesterday, I told him I hid them in my hideout in the garbage dump. Is Kechi-kun in cahoots with the Sonozaki family? I thought as my head was a pot that was cooking some dubious stew. There was only soup in my brain. Could have cruise information facts just to cut vegetables and food them into the pot. Some of them were floating on the surface and others were on the bottom of the pot. They were being cooked in a boiling soup. No, it can't be. Kechi-kun is on my side. He's the only one who's on my side. He held his hand to me at the trash piles. There was no wine in that hand. When he grabbed my wrist, I felt nothing but this strong and pure heart. He promised me he'd be on my side. I shouldn't doubt Kechi-kun. He's the only one I should trust. He's the only one who's on my side right now.
ごめんごめん、ケイチ君。危うく君を疑いそうになった。本当にごめんね。本当にごめんね。
I said it out loud on purpose, full of regret that I doubted Kechi-kun, the only one who was on my side. Now that I think about it, whether I have the scrapbooks or not might not matter to them. Erase anyone who's suspicious. That's the safest way. Does that mean they're in a hurry? The day of Osho-sama's revival might just be around the corner. And that's why they're trying to get rid of any small fish bones that are stuck in the throat by any means before it's too late. We don't need her anymore. Just erase her if you're worried so much. Could easily picture Oryu Sonozaki saying that. Picture? No, she did say that. That's why they're here today. What should I do? What should I do? Should I wait until school's over? Oh. I was like a fish in a pond. No matter how many times I escaped from the net, I was in the pond and they owned the pond. I didn't stand a chance. Then what should I do now? Couldn't keep escaping from the net. I should get out of the pond. Didn't know how to fight them. I didn't know who's on my side. I was about to give in to despair. But now I have to think about how to survive this, so I at least have time to think about how to fight against them. I have to get out of this pond. When I was about to leave the bathroom, one of my classmates came in, pretending not to be sick, and talked to the girl while leaning on the wall.
ごめんね。私、ちょっとどうしても具合が悪くて。早退するからって先生に伝えておいてくれないかな。
I shouldn't let Chi-sensei know that I'm leaving school early if I'm trying to run away from them. But if I didn't, they might think I went away without cause. They might lead them to chase after me without mercy. If that happens, I don't stand a chance. They were planning to capture me after school is over, but I happened to feel sick and left school early. If they took it that way, they wouldn't think that I noticed the noose tightening around me. I was about to go back to the classroom to get my bag, but I changed my mind and turned around. Didn't need my bag anymore. realized nobody was watching me, so I stopped pretending to be sick and started running. God, this damn chapter, man.
知恵先生、ここがおかしいですぞ。
おかしい？どうかなさいましたか？
見積書と請求書の日付が空欄になっておりますぞ。ここは今日の日付ではないのですかな？
Yeah, that's weird.
ああ、そこはお役所の都合らしいんです。見積書の日付と請求書の日付が同じだとなんだか都合が悪いそうで、庶務係さんから空欄にするようよく念を押されています。
あとそれから請求書に書いてある電話番号と封筒に書いてある電話番号が違っていますぞ。どちらが正しいのですかな？
Did they change phone numbers?
あらやだ、本当ですね。社長
はい。どうしましたんね？
さん、請求書に書いてある電話番号と封筒の電話番号が違ってますけど、どちらが正しいのですか？
ああ請求書の方の電話番号が正しいんで大丈夫ですね。先代の事務所の時の封筒がまだだいぶ余ってたもんなんで、すんませんね。バイトの子に全部新しい番号のハンコを押しとくように言ったんだけどな。すんまへん。消しておいてもらえますかね。
Wow. I have to say, this, oh my god, I love the direction this chapter is going in. Once takeout was free. God, that was a good chapter. I really like that. It's like, here's convincing evidence of the parasites. Oh wait, never mind. Here's contradicting that. And it's like, Rena's like the environment of the viewer from like chapter 1 through 4, really, you know, the Sonozakis are behind everything. I mean, hell, I was fucking convinced that through like most of the question arcs. Like 100%, I was convinced that it's goddamn Sonozaki sets they're behind everything. And it's the thing is, it's like, you know, with that chapter in particular, it's trying to be like, hey, here's a more reasonable explanation. But I know for a fact there's some weird shit that, you know, happens. You know, let's not forget the end of chapter 1 or, you know, the second half of chapter 3. That's still weird ass shit that happened. You know, who the fuck's the director? She's never been mentioned before ever since chapter fucking 1, man. I'm telling ya, that bastard's up to something. I'm fucking telling you, dude. He's fucking, wow. God, what a chapter that just melted my mind. That's the mind melter of a chapter of like, yeah, that's the chapter that tests your like resolve. Like, which theory do you believe in? Which one do you truly believe in? And it's like, Lena has here's what I think. Lena is going the right direction. There's an organization behind this. Absolutely. I believe that 100%. There is an organization behind it. Are there parasites? Maybe. No. Maybe. No. But it fucking would explain a lot. No. Fuck. Are there fucking parasites? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Do I believe there are parasites? I have to think on that part. But is there an organization that's behind a lot of things? Yes, absolutely. I still believe in that. Thing is, Lena is just pointing the finger at the wrong person. You know who that reminds me of? Shion. Fucking Shion. You remember? And then the fucking conversation of Rika talking with Kechi back in chapter 2 of the dog biting the wrong person instead of biting the trickster cat. There's a goddamn organization behind this. We're just looking in the wrong fucking direction. We're just looking in the wrong fucking direction. I'm telling you. It's fucking Irei behind it. I'm telling you, it's that fucker Irei. But why would Irei murder Takano? I don't know. I don't know. Oh my god. Alright. Finalized version. What I believe so far. What's actually going on. The facts that I believe in. There's an organization behind this. And it's the director, who is Irei. And they're doing these murders for a goal I still do not understand. That's what I believe in. Like, this chapter is supposed to dissuade us from the organization, but I won't get fucking dissuaded, Ryukushi 07. I won't get fucking dissuaded. There is an organization behind this shit, man. You can't just blush the end of chapter 1 and the second half of chapter 3 like that. There's no way in hell you can do that. No way in hell you can dissuade me from that weird ass shit. I'm telling you. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this type of content, hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, hit the like button. Want to tell me something? Put it down in the comments below. Want to check out Discord server hang out in my Twitter, check script below. And yeah, this has been Voidlego. I'll see you guys next time. See ya!